Building your dream home, well, it isn't as difficult as you may think, but of course you do have to start with quite a few things to begin with, like a section plan, builders, well, lots of stuff, let's face it. Our builders have everything and more. This is your new home, and tonight you're going to be framed.
Okay, so now we're at the framing stage. All of the frames come pre-manufactured and pre-put together, or pre-constructed. They're done from our good friends at Dyers Road ITM in this particular case. The frames are constructed in the factory. Timber's all pre-cut to length, placed on beds and nailed together. The main reason that we do that is that it'll increase the speed of the build. So obviously you can imagine framing turns up on site, comes flat packed, ready for the guys to stand. If you were to do that with loose timber on site with a builder, it would probably take them an extra couple of days. So pre-manufactured frames are the way to go, in our opinion.
Pre-cut framing is the choice of builders these days, and with good reason. It saves time and ensures greater accuracy for the build. With so many later stages in the build being dependent upon the size and dimensions of the rooms of being accurate, there's very good reason to get the framing spot on.
From our perspective, once the housing company or the client has done all their due diligence, in other words, made someone happy with a set of plans, and those set of plans come to us. Initially, they come for us for a truss design, so they can put them into consent, and then those plans come back. We then, through our factory, we detail them. In other words, we turn what looks like a set of plans into a jigsaw puzzle that we make out of timber, and they're called the frames and the roof. We make the trusses for those, and then once they're made, they go onto when the builder's ready, they go into a truck, and that truck goes to site, a crane truck, a high-ebb truck, and puts them where the builder wants, and that's it in a nutshell. But obviously there's quite a lengthy process in between, but just keeping that brief, so that's what we do. I think today it's all about time, and time is obviously money, but it's also the difference between when a client gets into that dream that they've had it seen on paper into their house. So the quicker that those timelines can be reduced for all concerned, the better off everyone is. So the big difference is that why the builder is involved in the foundation, the slab of the home, or it might be on piles. Obviously there's a number of earthquake homes in Christchurch today, and some of those are back on piles like it used to be. While the builder's working on those, that means that we and through the factory can be producing the frames and trusses, so when the timing is right, that they can go to site. How it was a number of years ago, packs of timber would come to site, the builder would actually then start cutting, start nailing, and that lengthy process would carry on. So in a build, we would probably, by having the frames pre-nailed in an average build, would save 10 working days at least on a site, which is it's a big thing as far as time goes. So even if you say, especially through the winter time because of weather implications, we could be saving ultimately 3 weeks. So it means that client's going to get into their house, that homeowner's going to get into their home 3 weeks earlier, just on that phase of the build. So when the bulk timber used to go to site and the builder would pre-cut their own or cut their own frames on site, they ended up with a lot of waste timber at the end of it because if a pack of timber went out, they would only need a certain amount of length, so there was a lot of offcuts. And that waste they had to pay for. The advantage in modern frame and truss plants is that waste is minimised, because when the house is detailed out, the frame is detailed, that goes into the computers. We can feed in the length of timber that we're putting into those saws, and so that'll maximise the length, so the waste is minimised, reduced. So even the little pieces that may be 600-800 mil long, they're utilised somewhere in that build. So reduced wastage means also conservation on price. So that's all managed into ultimately what the client pays for. So waste saving is a big factor.
The framing for Jadine Peterson's home is going up, but moving day is still many weeks away. Meanwhile, Jadine's still living in a small, cramped rental property. Still, there's an upside to her temporary home. Jadine's living just metres down the road from her new home. I think it's important that we have an interview here, because we've spoken a lot about your rental accommodation, and so we can see where you're living and so forth, and I can see why you're really looking forward to actually moving into your new house.
I drive past the new house just about every day. That was one of the plus sides to renting here, was because it was so close.
Exactly.
So I do get to drive past, see the new house going up and things happening, and it just kind of gives you that little bit more of a boost each day and a positive outlook.
Ends in sight, isn't it, really? So, I mean, but with trying to get rental accommodation, I mean, how was that for you? Because I know it's a nightmare for a lot of Cantabrians really at the moment, but how was it for you?
It's been horrible, to be honest, like right from the start, right down to just with the accommodation and the allowance and what some of that money had already been spent on. So making sure that I actually had enough money to pay the rent and the mortgage at the same time, because you can't just stop paying one.
No, exactly.
You know, and I kind of didn't see why. I kind of didn't see why I needed to possibly even put the house on the mortgage on a holiday, you know, a mortgage holiday, because then you accrue all that interest at the end as well.
The framing is gone up all of a sudden, so that's sort of starting to make a real, I suppose you can visualise where everything is more and step further.
Going past and actually seeing some of the frames up, driving past, you know, you go past in the morning and it's just like, oh yeah, go back that afternoon and actually seeing some up. But I've got to make sure I pull over now, because otherwise I'm going to crash, you know. It's really exciting seeing, you know, all the movement and things happening. It's amazing, yeah.
And we're not going to hold up Main North Road again, are we? With
No,
doing that? No, so
hopefully not. Any more trucks that have got to go on, it might happen, so really sorry about that, everyone.
Okay, so framing nowadays is treated. Part of the new building code is that all the frames need to have a treatment of some description, and the minimum treatment that we use, or that is required for the building code, is H1.2. H1.2 is a fungal and insect treatment primarily. Used to be a few years ago you didn't have to worry about treated frames, but they changed the rules, which is not a bad thing, and now all the frames have a minimum treatment on them. It's all about longevity and stability of the frame, so it's a good idea to have it. I certainly endorse what the council's requested. It's a good idea.
Hi, I'm Ivan, and this is my tip of the day. Framing, timber framing in your house, a very, very important part of the house. It's the structure. It forms all the rooms and the look of the house. We use timber here at Fowler Homes, and we have done ever since 30 years ago. We've always used timber. The timber we use is Pinus radiata. It's the most commonly used timber in New Zealand for framing. It's from renewable sources, and so we won't run out of it. It's actually one of our single biggest exports, timber, throughout the world. The purpose of it is it's light. It comes to site manufactured. It's all framing. It's all made based on the plans, and the builder erects it. And we really enjoy using it. There's minimal of waste incurred because of the pre-cut, pre-nail nature of it. So, and it's treated now. It's treated to avoid any rot, decay, and fungi. And so, simply put, timber. That's my tip of the day.
Okay, so process now, obviously standing the frames. This frame stood. She's all sturdy. Boys have got it braced up, which is perfect. Part of laying out the frames when they arrive on site is stringlining the floor and marking out where the frames are actually going to go, so that everything's true and square. Unfortunately, it's a wet day today, so there's no string lines on the concrete, so the boys have had to go back to old school and use their tape and measure the positions of the walls. They run a string line through the inside of that wall just to make sure that it's straight and where it's supposed to be. Obviously, being heavy frames and stuff, the boys are nice and strong, which is good, not like an office worker like me. So making sure they've got a couple of guys on the frames, and don't use your back as a crane. Just remember that. Once the frames are all up and braced and nailed together, the structure's pretty much good to go. So it's really important that we get it nice and solid, and it has to be safe for everybody walking around.
Back at Jane's house, Ivan's checking out progress on the scaffolding. That's next on Your New Home.
Years ago, Mum and Dad's home was built by Fowlers. I remember how proud the builder was. Now, years later, Fowlers are building my own home. And our builder has that same pride in everything he does. Because at Fowlers, their people make the difference. Generation after generation.
Your style of living, your style of builder. Fowler Homes.
Hi, I'm Mark and welcome to Staywell Pharmacy. Whatever the season, Staywell Pharmacy has you covered. As an integrated pharmacy, we stock all the well-known pharmacy medicines, as well as quality nutritional and herbal treatments. Our team of pharmacists and full-time naturopath are here to help you find the products and advice to suit the needs of you and your family. So come in and see us at Staywell Pharmacy, 27 Shands Road in Hornby. Staywell Pharmacy, live well, stay well.
My son's helped me greatly with my independence now that I've got more mobility.
Mum, I've been looking into stand assist chairs from More Mobility. They recline back with a footrest, then when you want to get out of them, they stand you up. You can even sleep on them. More Mobility can bring one out for a free trial. There's even electric beds too. What do you think? For more range and more expert advice, see More Mobility, corner Clarence and Princess Streets off Blenheim Road.
What a difference more mobility makes.
Hi, I'm Caitlin, the naturopath here at Staywell Pharmacy. Working with the pharmacist, I use herbal and nutritional medicine to recommend natural alternatives for your health. This can be to counteract any side effects of your medication, general health advice, or natural options for you and your family. I'm also available for consultations. So come in and see us at Staywell Pharmacy, 27 Shands Road, Hornby. Staywell Pharmacy, live well, stay well.
Avoid the monkeys when it comes to relocating. Trust A1 Movers, a family business since 1993 that guarantees a professional job every time. We carefully handle and wrap your valued items, ensuring they have a safe journey. Secure storage and insurance options are also available.
A1 Movers, the careful, caring moving company. Oi!
Action Removals, offering short or long-term storage facilities, full packing services, comprehensive rates, all fully insured and with 6 vehicle sizes to choose from. Earthquake repairs? Action Removals pack, move, store and return your valuable possessions stress-free. Action Removals, a family business that has been operating in Christchurch for over 10 years. Action Removals, your one-stop removal service on time, every time. 0800 222 526.
Health and safety is obviously a big part of the construction industry now. A lot of things have changed over the last 18 months, 2 years in terms of what we need to do on site. We need to keep the boys safe, and obviously we need to keep the site safe from people that are coming on here too, if the owners or other subcontractors, etc. So part of that is making sure that we've got site fencing like this. Luckily with this particular site there's an existing fence along the front, and we can just utilise these gates to keep people out. Once the framing's stood, the requirements now are to have scaffolding, so we'll end up with some full perimeter scaffold that goes all the way around. We'll have safety nets that get draped through the middle, and that's about preventing falls from height nowadays. The perimeter scaffolding is actually really good for the guys, to be honest, because they can literally walk around the whole perimeter of the scaffold, or of the frames I should say, and not have to worry about falling or jumping down all the time. Yeah, so health and safety obviously is a really big part of what we do, and it's important that we do it right.
Meanwhile, over in Sumner, the framing has also gone up at Jane's house. With the walls in place, the rooms are taking shape.
So exciting stuff. Here we are, we're in the framing's up and we're standing in your bedroom.
This is the walk-in robe and there's the ensuite there, and so yeah, and then we've got the wonderful ranch lighters out to the front.
Walk-in size wardrobe is fabulous, isn't it?
Yes, that's really
I like
exciting.
That. I like that a lot. Now, we're also, when we walked through before, you mentioned you've got lots of opaque glass, and so lots of natural light. That's a fabulous idea.
With the ensuite and the walk-in robe and the laundry all being on the side where you walk down to the front door, I mean, obviously you had to have opaque glass, but I wanted lots of light because I just love light.
Natural
I love
light.
sun, so we had to be opaque glass, but that's a lot better than having nothing there. So it'll be fabulous. I can't quite imagine it at this stage. but it's going to be fabulous.
So time frames, Jane, how's that?
When I built with Fowlers last time, it was almost the opposite. I mean, this is going back 20 odd years ago, so building was very different, and it was also a single-storey house. But they were almost chasing me for decisions. It was quite a different experience. And this time, I think it's a combination of, well, obviously the building codes changed. This is a difficult section to build on. The earthquakes. I mean, scaffolding is at an absolute premium at the moment, and you go into a queue for scaffolding. For the demolition, I went into a queue for scaffolding, and that so
sign of the times in Christchurch.
It is, and you just have to be patient. And when you're used to being the boss and making decisions and in control, it's actually very hard. But that's life.
Jane's house is a 2-storey build, which means a full set of safety scaffolding is required before the builders can move on to start erecting the 2nd-storey framing. Scaffolding has been in short supply due to the number of houses and buildings being constructed in Canterbury post-quake. Jane's house was actually in a queue for scaffolding, which set the build back a bit. But now it's here and going up.
Well, obviously we're back here at Sumner and just want to talk about scaffolding in particular, something that's become a massive requirement on builds. Being a 2-storey house, this one's actually it's a lot more complex than just putting up scaffolding. Many of you have seen builders on site with some scaffold, and then this particular one is you've got to do sections of scaffolding, put it up, take it down, put it back up again, because we've got a lower roof and an upper roof. So it's more tricky, more requirement, got to coordinate more contractors in to and from the job. Scaffolding erection, the builders love talking about that sort of stuff, but basically put anything up, you've got to start at the bottom. So that the key thing with scaffolding is that it's on a firm footing, so they have what they call base plates, and the scaffolding gets built from there. Before they can build it though, they need to understand what the builder wants and what he needs. And it's not just the builder, it's the roofer, it's the fascia fixer, it's all the contractors. So I know people that watch the GC would have seen the scaffolders that have gone over there, and they're a bit of a hard case. I mean, they're scaffolders and developers, and you sort of think these guys haven't got too many brass tacks, but I'm telling you now, the modern scaffolder has to think of all these things. He has to think of them in advance. For example, he has to know what he's doing and what's required to bring the right gear to site. Otherwise he'll get here and he can't build what he needs. So that would cause even further delay. So the modern scaffolder is probably not as clever as a builder, but they're getting there. They'll pick it up eventually, but we work quite closely together because we're entrusting our safety with them. So it's you sort of joke about these things, but it's quite a serious matter for obvious reasons.
At Jadine's house, there's scaffolding in place, and these bright blue safety nets have made an appearance.
Undergone home renovations? Looking for that special something to complete a room? Look no further than the Hitching Post. Their extensive range ensures you can find that special something. From plasma cut metalwork to candles, artwork, weather vanes, or even a customised gate. So come on down to the Hitching Post, 722 Marshland Road.
It's Blackwell's Holden Demolition Sale, with prices on selected demonstrators that'll blow you away. Cruise SRIV $31,990, Farina CDX $21,990, Captiva CX Diesel $39,990, Holden Spark $14,990, and Trax LTZ $31,990. The clock's ticking. These prices could blow any second. Call Blackwell's Holden Softburn today.
Phil & Dan's Furniture Warehouse always has the lowest prices. They've been 100% local since 1973 and are proud to be a family business. Phil & Dan have furniture you want at prices you'll love. They will even take your old beautiful furniture away for you, saving you the hassle. Just ask for a free in-home demonstration. CTV customers will receive a special subsidised delivery charge. So come and see Phil & Dan, your local furniture guys. You'll find them at Bishoptown Mall at the south end of Farrington Ave, with plenty of parking right by the door.
Years ago, Mum and Dad's home was built by Fowlers. I remember how proud the builder was. Now, years later, Fowlers are building my own home. And our builder has that same pride in everything he does. Because at Fowlers, their people make the difference. Generation after generation.
Your style of living, your style of builder. Fowler Homes.
Come in and meet the locals at the Bush Inn Centre. Whether it's to grab a coffee on the go or to catch up with a friend over lunch or dinner, the Bush Inn Centre is the perfect place. With our unique range of shops, you'll find everything you're looking for and more. Our friendly locals are always happy to help. We have plenty of parking at the Bush Inn Centre, making your shopping experience just a little bit easier. So come in, meet the locals and shop Bush Inn. You'll find us on the corner of Riccarton and Waimari Roads.
Come on down to Ferrymead Golf. Care for a game of paintball? How about some swings on the old driving range? Or on our par 3 9-hole golf course? Test your skills on the mini golf course or have a go at the airgun shooting range. Then relax at the Wow Cafe with one of our super succulent Wow Burgers. Whether you want to perfect your swing or are looking for a fun family day out, come down to Ferrymead Golf, 50 Ferrymead Park Drive, right next to the Ferrymead Heritage Park.
Hi, I'm Mark and welcome to Staywell Pharmacy. Whatever the season, Staywell Pharmacy has you covered. As an integrated pharmacy, we stock all the well-known pharmacy medicines, as well as quality nutritional and herbal treatments. Our team of pharmacists and full-time naturopath are here to help you find the products and advice to suit the needs of you and your family. So come in and see us at Staywell Pharmacy, 27 Shands Road in Hornby. Staywell Pharmacy, live well, stay well.
My son's helped me greatly with my independence now that I've got more mobility.
Mum, I've been looking into stand assist chairs from More Mobility. They recline back with a footrest, then when you want to get out of them, they stand you up. You can even sleep on them. More Mobility can bring one out for a free trial. There's even electric beds too. What do you think? For more range and more expert advice, see More Mobility, corner Clarence and Princess Streets off Blenheim Road.
What a difference more mobility makes.
Hi, I'm Dustin, and this is my advice on warranties. Every product in your home comes with a warranty. They range from 2 years to 50 years. But with us at Fowler Homes, we've chosen products that we believe are of a good quality, and that really we don't really want to be calling on their warranty period because we actually want the product to last. But if you choose a product that perhaps is different from the norm, then warranties and the serviceability of the warranty and the length of that warranty can be really important to you. Last thing you want to do is have that product fail and, oh gosh, bugger, it's just out of its warranty period. So consider the products that you're choosing or that you're discussing with your builder, or in our case, we've got all the advice and knowledge that you need. We'll tell you what you should put in the home, put it that way. But yes, warranties are really important, and if you're using a good quality product, then that shouldn't really be a problem.
Over in Sumner, the framing's gone up at Jane Patterson's build.
We're back in sunny Sumner. Beautiful morning here just before it's going to snow, I think. But we're here really to show you what the differences are between the two jobs that we're building simultaneously. The one in Papanui is a more traditional home build, so it's very simple to put together. This house is a lot more complex, even though they're both two houses. If you look in the distance over there, you'll see a steel beam, or portal as we call it, and it goes up to the apex of the roof, because in this room we've got a pitched cathedral ceiling, and the reason we do that is to vault more volume into the room. But the complexities of doing this with craneage and power lines and scaffold and all the things are far greater, and we've had, it's fair to say, we've had a fair few delays here between weather, scaffold erection, dismantle, re-erection. It's exciting stuff really, but it's important to note that the cost of the steel also is very high, so a house like this would be more expensive than a traditional flat ceiling build in pretty much all cases. But we need it there for strength, because this room's got no stiffness without that steel. It'll just wobble like a jelly, and I'm sure the homeowner wouldn't want that. Here we are, we're in one of the most important rooms in the house. It's called the toilet. And in this particular house we're quite lucky, because as you walk into the toilet, if you look that way, we've put a window here so we can actually capture a view rather than just looking at your neighbour's roof all the time. It's quite nice in individual rooms to capture views from wherever you possibly can. It's nothing too exciting because as you sit down you can't see it, but or stand up for that matter. But the height of the window also gives privacy. So again, you don't need to put obscure glass in every bathroom or toilet. You can actually have clear glass getting maximum sun and natural light into the room whilst obtaining some privacy.
Yeah, the balcony is actually a really important thing. I've always been a little bit anti-balconies because they're a costly item to have. They're potentially a weatherproofing issue because they've got to be built correctly. And I always like them to be bigger than probably most people would think, because too often you see in houses, if you've been to open homes or whatever, they have these little piddly balconies and you get a look, a round table and 2 chairs, and that's not really how people live outside. You want to have a balcony that's long enough or wide enough to take appropriate furniture that you want to put on it, so you've got to consider that. Another way of achieving it, which is what we've done here, is giving that indoor-outdoor flow, the magical words. If your balcony's small, we'll increase the amount of area you've got on the inside so it feels like it's larger when the opening's available. So when, in this case, stack of sliders are all open, it'll just feel like an extension of the living area out to the balcony. And it is. It's a sort of a romantic thing for a lot of people. You walk out onto your balcony in the morning, particularly with this elevation, you'll stretch out, look at the sunset, think, my God, that surf looks awesome, and then you'll close the doors and bugger off to work probably. But in the weekends or when people have got the time, they'll sit out there and have a bloody coffee and watch the beautiful people walk past, and some here with their fluffy little dogs and all those designer things people out here have.
Back at Jadine's house, a lattice of safety nets is in place ready for the roofers to go to work. The safety nets are a recent innovation, another aspect of health and safety regulations designed to make buildings safer for the builders and also anyone else coming onto the site.
Okay guys, now we're at the framing stage, or roofing stage if you like. All the external walls, internal walls are up, and we've got the trusses on. So as part of the process now to install the trusses, we need to have the full nets in place. Full nets obviously are full nets, so they've got to prevent people from falling in. We're not allowed to work at height any longer without the protection of full nets or other systems. Bean bags are one other system you could use. We prefer the nets. They go up really, really quickly, and they're not up for very long. Basically, they're here until such time as we've got a roof on and that nobody else is going to be falling in during that period. Once the roof's on and the work at height is completed, we can remove the nets and carry on with the rest of the stuff inside. Good addition to the building industry now, again, part of health and safety. Unfortunately, it comes at a cost, increases the cost of your dwelling, but that's just one of many things that have changed over probably the last 18 months to 2 years. So full nets, good addition to the building industry.
Scaffolding has also been set up around Jadine's house so the roofers can easily and safely access the roof structure without having to use ladders.
Hey team, okay, this time scaffolding. We've got our roof trusses up. Obviously, to get access around the building nowadays, we need some scaffolding. Again, it's another health and safety requirement. We have to provide full protection off this roof while we're erecting the trusses, while we're doing our fascia and gutter, or while we're doing the roof installation. Again, it's been added to the building industry, and quite rightly so, to be honest. I think if you talk to most builders, they'll actually say it's a heck of a lot easier to get around the job now if we're walking on a platform and we've got full protection outside. Just keeps the guys a lot safer. The old school builders, you'll remember, used to be wandering around on the top plate. You don't have to worry about that anymore. Platform systems in place, good access all the way around, and it's nice and safe for everybody.
Next time on Your New Home, we're going up on a roof, getting a second story from Jane and seeing Jadine's house get sealed up. That's next time on Your New Home.